and it looks like we have a big beat at $13.33 for first quarter EPS. So that is, wow, $9.30 was what analysts were looking for, and we got $13.33. The highest analyst estimate that I've noticed here in our survey of analysts, Paul, is $10.07. How did everyone get it wrong?
Well, one of the things that really is going for the Google story is their CFO, Ruth Porat. She's really done a good job since coming on board in managing the cost, not just the operating expenses, but also the capital expenses as well, and maybe some of the moonshots that the founders have been, happy to spend money on. So this might be an example where, I think that the street might have got a little bit ahead of itself in terms of the expense growth relative to what Ruth can really deliver.
We've also got all sorts of reclassifications going on here as well. We've got to take into account, even if they haven't crystallized gains or losses on investments like Uber, for example, that's going to be hitting the income statement this time around. We've also got some changes with Nest and how that's recognized on the balance sheet.
We have the revenue ex traffic acquisition costs of $24.9 billion, so almost 25. Analysts were looking for $24.3 billion, and that number had been moving around in the last couple of days. So when we're looking at revenue, that is coming in higher than anticipated. When we're looking at EPS, that is coming in higher than anticipated. Also, I just want to mention as well, other revenue, because Julia, you just mentioned this reclassification of the businesses.
And that's where Nest's business is now based.
$4.35 billion for the quarter. I don't know that we can compare it to anything because you're seeing parts being moved around.
Yeah, I think one of the things here, it's the conference call is going to be particularly interesting this quarter. We see some good numbers here coming out of the company in their quarter, but the real question is, what do you think the impact is of some of these piracy concerns on your company's business model? Talk to us about the expenses you're going to have to incur over the next really couple of years at the very least, and tell us, are you seeing anything from your advertisers in terms of any pushback on some of the data that you typically provide that you may not be able to provide about your customers going forward?
Go back to the piracy question. What specifically is the main anxiety there?
I think the main anxiety is one of the big advantages of advertising on a Facebook or Google is that those platforms can provide advertisers with so much user information, because you and I and every other user on social media and on the internet, we provide so much information about ourselves. That information is very valuable to advertisers. That's something that traditional media like broadcast television or newspapers or magazines generally do not have, and that is what has made digital advertising, internet advertising, so attractive.